Once upon a time, there lived a happy bunch who called themselves the Tops Class of 2024. They were, in fact, excited for their first year at Mark Garneau, but they were hardly anticipating the brutal events that they would need to face. Tests that stretched longer than the Great Wall of China and sweltering stuffy rooms comparable to the Sahara Desert tested them, so harshly that some of our heroes wondered if they would crawl out alive. So you're wondering how it all went down. Well, it began in the summer of 2021. Before school started, our heroes went on a brave journey to the jungle, where they were faced with swarms of mosquitoes and monstrous caterpillars. Swimming amongst the trees, they eventually fought them off and made their way to the start of school. At school, the next hurdle were tests, and very long ones indeed. So long, in fact, that some of our heroes' heads began to droop as their pencils trudged on. But they did not give up. There were their marks on the line. And, of course, there was the wretched COVID-19. How could anybody forget? Our heroes cried and whined over Discord calls in hopes that they would one day perhaps see their beloved comrades once again. Our heroes at the same time were also taking their first TOPS coding course. Flowcharts. They were spiky and funky at all the wrong spots. Same with that obnoxious Java Ready. Who knew that a coding compiler could be so silly? Science class was no breeze for our heroes either. Memorizing hundreds of slides of information with Mrs. Bandakar was no easy task for any of them, and eventually numbers started blurring with words. Was that meiosis or mitosis in the diagram? It was getting harder to tell by the minute. Next came the annual AP exams, and wow, our heroes had a tough time with this one as well. It was common to see them dragging their huge textbooks through the hallways, cramming knowledge during the wee hours of the night, and Googling just exactly how much they need to score for that sweet, sweet 5. And we all know of the specialized programs policies, and of course, our heroes were enraged by this change. However, in a civilized society such as ours, the director of education was not willing to challenge any of them to a duel to the death. It was unfortunate, but our heroes accepted it anyway. You may be wondering, well, if the TOPS class of 2024 has gone through so much, where is their happy ending? There is, in fact, dear reader, no happy ending for this group yet. But their heroic actions did not go unnoticed or unrewarded, of course. Our heroes had the loveliest, relaxing time with Mrs. Brennan in English class. Although they did not always score high on tests and quizzes, they were able to console one another in these hard times. Competitions in mathematics, robotics, and many other amazing areas brought our heroes closer together as a team as they felt the fruits of their labors. At last, the brilliant semi-formal also brought down a fantastic way for the group to close off after a year of hard work as a night of food and beautiful dancing. The TOPS class of 2024 went through difficult times and horrible stress, but at the end of the day, they were happy with themselves and their work. Wouldn't you be if you were them? And as the threat of grade 11 loomed above them, they readied their shiny combat armor, no longer afraid, and lived happily ever after.